Hello, my name is Erin. A few weeks ago, I went on a trip to Korat. I visited a village called Ban Prasat. Ban Prasat village is the rural part of Thailand. Bangkok is the urban part of Thailand. After this trip, I learned that our lives in Bangkok are very different from the lives in Ban Prasat village. Compared to them, we should be very thankful for what we have. We have iPods, TVs, cell phones, electricity, and other electronics. The villagers in Ban Prasat village probably don't have any of those wonderful things. Today, I will be comparing urban and rural life in Thailand. In Ban Prasat village, the houses were very different from the ones we live here in Bangkok. The houses in the village were built out of wood and built on stilts to prevent from destruction from floods. The wooden houses have no electricity. They don't have indoor plumbing, they don't have bathrooms in the house, and there is no running water. Because the houses are open to the environment, the wooden houses probably have to face snakes, rats, and mosquitoes. The risk of getting malaria and dengue fever is probably high because since the houses are so open to the environment, they probably have a lot of mosquitoes in their houses at night. The villagers in Ban Prasat village use bicycles and walking for transportation. In the back of the picture, you can see 2 bicycles. I didn't see any cars there, so this tells me that the villagers don't have enough money to buy a car. The villagers can only afford to use bicycles for transportation because the villagers in rural village in Thailand are mostly rice farmers. They only use bicycles and walking for transportation because they may not need to go very far or they don't have enough money. In Ban Prasat village, the school we visited was way different from what I was used to. There were about 30 to 4-year-old kids in the same classroom. There are no desks or tables. They didn't have a whiteboard or chalkboard, and they didn't seem to have any books. This shows that they lack a lot of facilities for learning. These are sacks of rice. The villagers keep their rice in this storage place with steel walls and huts because this prevents rats from getting into their rice supply. This made me realize how different they store their food than we do. At my house, we just store food in the fridge or in the pantry. I also never worry about rats getting into my food like the villagers in Ban Prasat do. The numbers on the door are to keep track of how much rice they have. The sacks reach up to the 9, they have a lot of rice. The sacks only reach up to 1, they hardly have enough rice to feed their families. This also made me realize how different this is compared to us. I don't have doors on my fridge measuring how much food I have. Also, it never crosses my mind that there will not be enough food to eat for dinner. This shows that we're lucky that we have food to feed our bodies. Sometimes these villagers have to miss meals because they don't have enough food to feed their whole family. This is a tractor the villagers in Ban Prasat village use for rice farming. I don't see many tractors around my house because I live in an urban environment and there is not many fields. This is a picture of a spirit house. In the rural parts of Thailand, this is a very important symbol of their religion. The villagers believe that the spirit houses draw all the good spirits near and forces the bad spirits to go away. A spirit house is usually located at a corner of a property. I don't see many spirit houses around where I live because it is not part of my religion. This is a traditional wagon. This wagon is used in the rice fields and it is usually pulled by oxen. This is another traditional item that is not seen around Bangkok because there are no rice fields in Bangkok and no oxen either. This is a traditional Thai oven. The villagers use this oven to bake bread and other food products. It's made out of clay from the ground. This is very different from the oven in my house because my oven is made out of steel. It is also very different how we prepare our food. We prepare our meals in a kitchen and we have all the materials we need to make many varieties of dishes. The villagers don't have all the materials to make their food. They don't even have a kitchen. The villagers can't cook all the different varieties of dishes like the opportunity we have. In this bucket are small crabs. The villagers fish these crabs out of the river that is located nearby. The villagers eat these crabs. In Bangkok, we don't fish for crabs because there are not many rivers that have crabs in them. And there are restaurants where they serve tons of crabs. There are not many restaurants in Korat, so the villagers have to fish for them. These are mouse traps. The villagers put out so that rats don't invade their property and eat their food. Sometimes when the villagers catch the rats, they eat them for dinner. This is very different than Bangkok because there are not many rats in Bangkok and because there are so many cars. Also, I don't set mouse traps outside of my house to keep them away from my food. In Bangkok, there are so many great restaurants that we don't need to capture rats and eat them for dinner. In Korat, we visited the Rice Institute. At the Rice Institute, we learned how to plant and harvest the rice. In the rural parts of Thailand, like Ban Prasat village, people are rice farmers instead of working for multinational corporations in Bangkok. This shows that people who live in Bangkok have a fair chance of having a good quality of life because we can make enough money to support our families. As a rice farmer, they would have a less chance of having a good quality of life, and it would be harder for them to support their families. A lot of the rice is grown in rural parts of Thailand, like Korat. Most of the rice is exported through posts on the coast, like urban cities, and those traders make the money. So therefore, those commercial ports control the money. The rice farmers in Korat don't have any power and have nowhere else to export their rice, so this limits their economic opportunities. The houses in Bangkok are very different from the houses in Ban Prasat village. In downtown Bangkok, there are many fancy and expensive apartments. In the apartments, there is running water, bathrooms, indoor plumbing, and electricity. In the houses in Ban Prasat village, none of the houses had any of these. The houses and apartments in Bangkok aren't built on stilts like the houses in Ban Prasat village. The houses and apartments in Bangkok aren't so open to the environment. We don't have to worry about the rats, snakes, and bugs getting into our house. The cost of living in the houses and apartments in Bangkok are very high. The cost of living in Ban Prasat village are very low. The transportation in Bangkok is also very different than the transportation in Ban Prasat village. The transportation in Bangkok is very high-tech compared to the transportation in Ban Prasat village. In Bangkok, there is a SkyTrain called the BTS, an airport, taxis, and buses. Ban Prasat village doesn't even have one airport, and it definitely does not have a SkyTrain. The jobs in Bangkok are also very different. In Ban Prasat village and Korat, a lot of the people are rice farmers. In Bangkok, there are many multinational corporations and many businesses. The employees in Bangkok are paid a lot more than the rice farmers in Korat. In Bangkok, there are many five-star hotels and restaurants. One of the reasons is Bangkok is a world-class city. The other reason is that there is a lot of tourism in Bangkok. Bangkok has tourists coming in from all over the world, and tourists like staying in fancy hotels and like going out to eat at nice restaurants. Korat does not have very many fancy hotels and restaurants because there are not as many tourists that come to Korat compared to the number of tourists that come to Bangkok. Also, Korat is not a world-class city like Bangkok. This is a local mall that a lot of students at ISB are familiar with. It's called Central Plaza Cheng Wat. There are hundreds of stores inside, many restaurants, and even a movie theater. There are no malls in Korat, so the villagers can't go shopping or go see a movie. This shows how lucky we are with the entertainment we have. We have many other malls just like this in downtown Bangkok. Visiting the kindergarten in Ban Prasat village made me realize how privileged I am compared to those kids. We have electricity, computers, libraries filled with books, desks, materials, smartboards, and even a cafeteria. I have all the tools and facilities I need for learning and to be successful with whatever I choose. Our opportunities are endless compared to the students in Ban Prasad village. On this trip, I learned how lucky I really am. After this trip, I felt very thankful of what I have. I live in a world-class city with endless opportunities. Seeing the village really opened up my eyes to the way people live in rural parts of Thailand. I've always been interested in travel, but now I am interested in visiting different rural parts in different countries and comparing them with Ban Prasat village.